Hey guys, welcome back to Ants Midwest. Today I'm going to show you my ants that are in hibernation. And starting off we have my Crematogaster linealata, which you can see a queen right here in that tube. And all the workers standing around, a little bit of larva there as well. And they're not really moving around much, that's because it's cold, they don't have much to do. Here's the mass of the colony all over the water dish. And then here's the sugar water tube, which they are not using, which is expected. I think there's a little bit of mold growth in there. I'll just disconnect that after I take them out of hibernation. I left it on though because when I put them in, there were ants in there and I didn't want to have to deal with trying to get them out. Here we have the first death of hibernation. This is an unknown parasitic Formica species, and I delayed heavily on getting her host workers during the summer, so I'm not totally surprised that she passed during hibernation. You can see over here one of her host workers that also passed. Up next is one of my two Camponotus subarbatus colonies. I believe this colony is dead, but it's hard to tell because when Camponotus hibernate, they tend to curl up and lay down and they appear very dead. It's hard to tell though. You can see this Camponotus pennsylvanicus colony is doing the same thing. They're all curled up and laying down, no movement, but there is a chance they are still living, and we'll find that out when we take them out of hibernation. Here we have a Lasius americanus colony with two workers. I found this queen with brood under the bark of a rotting stump and raised them to two workers before it was time to hibernate. In this sock full of test tubes, I have a bunch of queens that I didn't take great care of over the summer. So most of them don't have workers, like this Formica queen. She has no brood and no workers, but hopefully in the next season I'll get her to build a colony. Here's a Camponotus pennsylvanicus queen with one major worker, oddly enough, and some larvae. As you can tell, they're curled up and laying down, but they're moving, so I know they're living. This is the second Formica queen of that same species that also has no workers or brood. This is another Formica species queen who unfortunately has passed, so we won't be able to see her in the upcoming ant season. Next up we have some Camponotus noveboracensis queens. This one here has no workers but does have some larvae. Over here is a small colony of noveboracensis that I found on a camping trip just a couple months before. I collected all the workers and as much brood as I could, and they should do good in this next coming season. I have high hopes for them. This is another queen with just some larvae. Now we have a couple more Camponotus pennsylvanicus queens. This one has no workers but plenty of larvae, so hopefully she'll explode during the next season. Here's another pennsylvanicus queen on her back, and this is common for carpenter ants to hibernate this way, but considering other queens aren't doing this, I'm a little bit worried for her health, but we'll just have to see how she does. So that'll do it for the queens in my sock, but here you can see a little bit of the organization in my hibernation fridge. I could definitely fit more colonies in here if I need to. Again, we'll take a look at the Pennsylvanicus colony. Let me know if you see any movement in here. I thought I did at some point, but I can't spot it again, so let me know. Down here is my 9-queen Formica montana colony, which I watered recently and flooded a bit and saw some queens and workers, so I know they're doing good. Also, that bag behind the colony there is my other subarbatus colony, which I checked up on recently, and they were living too.